Hey, good morning, all my badass friends. So happy to have you back for day 8, where we're talking finally about going for it, and we're just really creating the results that we've kind of been setting the framework for this entire time. And now we're digging into the actual dream life creation, actually like not just feeling like a badass, but like having a badass life. Would anyone be interested in that? I know I would be. And the reason we talked about feeling like a badass first in day 6 is because as you are learning, your feelings affect your actions. So if you need to take a certain action in your life, if you need to change something, if you need to move forward, then feeling completely competent and capable and like you can have it, that is really where we need to begin with that. And then yesterday we dug into dealing with negative emotions, which I know is such a buzzkill. But the reason that we had to talk about that is because if you know that emotions are just vibrations in your body, and you can buy into this idea that they're kind of harmless and really believe that you can handle any negative emotion, you can handle the emotion of fear. You can sit with the emotion of panic, even anxiety, overwhelm, all these emotions, they will come up on the way to your dreams. Like it's a certainty. If they didn't come up on the way to your dreams, then everyone would have their dreams. But the reason we don't achieve the results that we're going for is because these emotions come up. Fear is a big one that comes up for us. And then we stop because it's too much. And we're like, too hard, this hurts too much. Or we don't even realize that we're making that decision. We just look back and we're like, oh, I didn't do any of those goals I thought I was gonna do. You know why? Because it gets hard. But if you know you can do hard things and you can sit with all the emotions that come up along your journey, that's very powerful to know. So then you can be like, bring it. You know what? I want this one result in my life. I want to stop smoking so bad, or I want to get healthy so bad, or I want to start my band so bad, or I want to reconcile with my mom so bad. Whatever your thing that you're really wanting and needing in your life is, you know that you can create that. You will stay the course because you're not scared of any of the emotions that come up along the way. Okay, so I want you to look back to when you signed up for this course, okay? When you went for it, when you clicked buy now, you were probably, nervous. You were probably unsure, like, is this gonna work? Am I just gonna like give up on this on day 3? Am I gonna stick with it? Hell yeah, you're sticking with it. I'm really proud of you. And I want you to think back to what you were hoping to get out of this. Most of us, when we sign up for a course like this, we are secretly hoping to get a certain result out of it. And a lot of times that result is just permission. We're waiting for someone to look us in the eye and tell us, you can have it, you should go for it, here's how it works, here's why you're so competent, right? And nobody can give you that permission. I certainly can't. You're the only one who can just decide that you qualify. You're worthy of your dreams. You have permission to go get what you want. So I want you to ask yourself, what was that? Where did you want to feel, or where did you want to be, and how did you want to feel at the end of day 10? What does being a badass look like to you? And I want you to think about a result that you would really love to create in your life, and maybe something that you've tried before, like something to achieve, something to have, somewhere to be in your life that maybe you've tried and it didn't work before. And we're gonna tackle that, and we're gonna figure out how to get there. And I'm gonna show you the steps right now. So after you have decided what that thing is, I'm finally gonna pay off my loans, or I'm finally gonna leave my stupid boyfriend, right? Or I'm finally going to step up my game in this area of my life. Once you do that, you're going to decide that this time is gonna be different, and you're going to just make the decision that now is the perfect time to tackle this. Your brain might not really like you doing this. It might be like, no, there's 5 really great reasons here why you're gonna fail and why now is not the time. No, just be like, I'm deciding, day 8, starting my life right here, I'm going for it, now is the time. And I want you to mentally think about how great it's gonna be when you have victory in this area, how relieved you're gonna feel, how proud you're gonna feel. Like when you finally freaking beat this one area of your life, or when you overcome it, or when you create this result, how wonderful that's gonna feel. And I really want you to take some time and write in your journal, type it out, and pretend that you're already there and really get committed, really get attached to that feeling. And I want you to spend a moment and think about your why on this. People talk about the conviction and the why behind something because that is how we stick to things. When the going gets tough, when the fear emotion comes up and it's so strong that you're like, this isn't even worth it. I would rather be comfortable. I would rather feel the lack of fear than I would have my results. Sometimes we can get into that thing. You center and you connect back with your why, and you think of yourself on the other side, being happy, being free from this, having beaten that addiction, having up-leveled your life. You can have that, and you need to practice thinking that way and feeling that way first. Something really cool is your brain doesn't know when you are imagining something or visualizing a result. Your brain can't tell the difference between actually having that thing, like it being a reality, versus visualizing it. So you can practice the result first in your brain, and you can practice the steps, and you can practice the discipline. So if the step is, I'm going to stop eating sugar, you can imagine a really great dessert, you know, being at the table at the restaurant, and you can imagine thinking, I don't even want that. You know what? I would rather just be healthy and feel good. And it's a really great way to practice before you're actually in that scenario, and your brain can't tell the difference. So it's building up resolve right then and there, just in your own mind. And remember to change smarter, not harder. Using this idea of how our thoughts create our feelings, which create our actions, there are certain actions that you need to take in order to create this result. So write down what those actions are. Write down every little step. Do you need to get new gym shoes? Do you need to dye your hair? Do you need to call somebody? Do you need to put an ad in the paper? Do you need to do some research? Write down all those steps, and then if there's certain steps that you have had a hard time locking in on before, you need to think about the feelings that would create those actions. One powerful feeling is empowerment. Powerful feeling of empowerment. That's going to, in most cases, create whatever results you want in your life, whatever actions you need to take, or the feeling of motivation, or the feeling of discipline. How you get those feelings? Trace it back. What kind of thoughts do you need to think to feel empowered, to feel motivated, to feel committed, to feel disciplined? Write those down. You're creating this map for yourself. I think these thoughts, that creates these feelings, that gives me these actions, and these are the actions I take to get my result. Next, I want you to identify what you're going to have to sacrifice to get this. There's a reason why you don't have it yet. Why is that? Why have you tried and failed? Or why haven't you even started yet? What is going to come up for you? Write down all the things that you're going to have to give up, whether that's time with people, whether that's money, whether that's your vacation, whatever that is. And then write down the potential obstacles. I cannot recommend this highly enough. You need to write down what's going to come up. The obstacles can be internal, they can be old thought patterns, old conditioning from your past, or it can be external obstacles. It can be, you know, my dad does not support this. That is an obstacle. I don't know how I'm going to get the money. That is an obstacle. I have to dig into that and figure that out. I don't have the willpower. That's an obstacle. Write these down so you can see them, and then they're not going to surprise you, and you're going to make a plan for overcoming these obstacles. So to summarize these steps to create the results is you're going to decide that now is the time. You're going to pick what you want, connect with your why. You're going to journal out what it's going to feel like on the other side to have all that freedom and all that victory. Then you're going to change smarter, not harder. Get accountability. Like, write down the thoughts that you need. Make it easy for yourself. Write down those obstacles. Why haven't you created it for yourself yet? And then write down what will come up for you, what will surprise you on your journey, like how can you not be surprised by those, and then what are you going to do about it? If you do this, it's a sure thing. It's done. It's in the bag. How great does that feel to go into something for once having all the confidence, knowing that it's there for you? And so your homework is to go through these steps that I laid out for you, but really just identify the one area. Like if you're just gonna start here, identify the one area that you're finally going to tackle. You're gonna have freedom. It's gonna feel so good. And I'm so proud of you. And you are a badass, and you can have what you want in life. And tomorrow, that's what we're gonna talk about, is dreaming even bigger. Let's go for it even more. Let's expand the boundaries. Let's see what's possible for ourselves. I love you, and I'm giving you a lot to think about, and so I want your brain to be kind of throwing these ideas around today. I really believe in you. You got this. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.